Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. This is going to be another full review video. In today's full review, we are taking a look once again at the Ruger Mark IV Tactical. And before we get this video started, I want to let you know the best way that you can support what I do here on the channel right now is by checking out the Firearm Freedom merchandise store. You can pick up some awesome t-shirts, all with designs that I personally made, including the one that I'm wearing a few times in the B-roll of this video, which is my hello and welcome shirt that I know you guys like. I really appreciate you repping the brand that is Firearm Freedom. And if you want to make sure that these videos are not being hidden from your subscription feed, be sure to ring that bell, hit the subscribe button, but more importantly, comment down below this video. I have had such a roller coaster ride with the Mark IV Tactical, and I'm excited to finally get it on the channel for a full review video. If you guys are new to my channel, generally I will do a first impressions video of the gun. It'll be anywhere from 100 rounds, a couple hundred rounds, 500 rounds. It really depends on the caliber that the gun is. I'll do some upgrades to it, and then I will do a full review once it gets over 1,000 rounds and I get a little bit more trigger time behind the gun. Now, in this case, being a 22, we're generally going to get a little bit of a higher round count before we do that full review. And on the Mark IV Tactical, I ended up getting over 2,000 rounds. Lost track, have no idea how many rounds I have through this gun now, but I have quite a bit through it, and I've really learned a lot about the gun as this review has progressed. This is also one of the few guns in the collection that rarely has a change. Since the upgrades video, I've kept all of the same things on this pistol, so that should tell you a little bit about how I am liking what I did to the gun. I still have my TLR VIR2 on the bottom because, as I mentioned in the upgrades video, this is kind of what I view as a very cool and very quiet night vision plinking gun, sentry dispatching gun, whatever you are looking to do with your Mark IV Tactical. It can achieve it with a good white light on the bottom and also an infrared illuminator and laser. So it's a really nice little combo for the Mark IV. And I'm still running the Vortex Viper red dot up top. Now, the Viper has actually grown on me a lot. When I first bought this optic, I liked it, but I saw a lot of drawbacks to it. And that was primarily because I was looking at it from a solely defensive red dot use option. So I was running it on full-size 9mm handguns, and in that department, I think it is just lacking. It does not have the battery life, it does not have the modern features that I believe a good quality red dot should have. On the other hand, on a 22 long rifle like this Mark IV, it works perfectly. The battery life has not been an issue at all. I don't need to worry about constantly keeping the dot on and worry about it having an automatic shut-off or running out of battery. And the 6 MOA dot, although is a little bit tough when you're getting to about 50 yards on this gun at 25 and in, which is primarily where I am shooting this gun at, it does just fine. It's very, very fast to pick up downrange. So I've actually grown to really enjoy the Vortex Viper on this Mark IV, and this is absolutely going to stay. I've kept the goon tape in the same location. It adds just a cool factor, kind of like the Assassin's Stallone movie from back in the day. And I really do enjoy the texture that it provides, especially up in the front. Now, we are talking about a 22, so again, as I mentioned in many other reviews of the gun, we're not looking at a ton of recoil here, but having traction on the back and the front just allows you to get a really nice, comfortable, positive grip on the gun, which is really tough to beat. I know what many of you are probably wondering right out the gate is the reliability. What am I seeing now that we have over 2,000 rounds to the gun? If you guys remember way back during the first impressions video, I was having some hiccups. I was not entirely impressed with the reliability of the Mark IV. I was having rounds just getting stuck in the magazines. This was what I saw as the primary issue. I actually thought maybe there was a problem with a batch of magazines or something like that. And then I dug through all of my ammo boxes, tried out some older ammunition, and I realized that it was actually not a gun-related problem at all, but a ammunition problem. So I was having this new 22 long rifle ammo that I picked up recently here in 2022, and from different manufacturers, including high-end manufacturers like CCI, and it was just incredibly overwaxed, and it was causing major stoppages in the magazine itself, just getting all gunked up, and the gun was just not liking it. So far, I've found that surprisingly the new Winchester Super X 222 round packs this gun really enjoys. I've had no hiccups with that ammunition other than a light primer strike, maybe 2 in a total of like 500 rounds. And I've also tried a lot of older Federal and stuff like that. Pretty much anything that is not overly waxed, this gun has been running just fine. And that was so refreshing to see, and it's exciting to see that reliability continuing. You guys heard me mention in the upgrades video that it was so fun to shoot this gun now that the reliability was improving, now that I figured out what ammunition this gun likes, and a lot of the time with 22s that is absolutely the case. So now I can go to the range, I can plink, and I can just have fun with the gun. And I have brought this gun to almost every single pass range day, which is very much unlike me. As a gun YouTuber, I am constantly just bringing bags of stuff to the range. Different guns, rifles, shotguns, pistols. I got tripods, camera bags, ammo. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And trust me, I do not like bringing extra items. I just want to bring what I'm reviewing for that day. I want to just focus on that. However, I have still found myself throwing this in the range bag in a side pocket for just the, hey, maybe I want to plink around at the end of the range day. And that says a lot. It really does when it comes to my collection. I love plinking with this Mark IV, and the reliability has been excellent. As far as accuracy of the gun, now that I'm really getting used to it, the gun is incredibly accurate. Anytime a shot is pulled one way or another, it is me and not the gun, and I can watch my red dot slowly drift one way or another, and I just break the shot and just I'm not where I want to be, and I'll pull the shot. Exactly where that red dot is, the round is placed, and that's phenomenal. I did some accuracy testing at about 7 yards, 15 yards, and 30 yards, and I was very impressed with the practical groups I was getting out of the gun. I am not any sort of a competition shooter or anything like that, just your average guy behind the trigger, and I was able to pull out some groups that I was very happy with. It is definitely an accurate gun, but what I view as kind of a cool tactical 22 as well. There's a lot of varying options that you could use a dead quiet 22 long rifle suppressed pistol for, and one that is also capable for night vision shooting. Again, we could go off into the weeds on all the options there, but it's a very phenomenal choice. And it is a choice that the United States military and many other militaries have been using for decades. There have been a variety of Ruger Mark pistols that are integrally suppressed or threaded on suppressed that have been used for a very long time. So this is a very capable pistol, and it's exciting to see that capability firsthand at the range. For these past few range days, I have been keeping up with cleaning the gun, and of course with any 22 that's going to help. However, I have not gotten all into the bits of the lower receiver to clean out all of this. For those of you that aren't familiar with the Ruger Mark series, this is not a super fun area to take apart. It's definitely not something that is like a quick field strip option. So I don't really enjoy the fact of having to break this all apart for a full detailed field strip and clean. What I am experiencing, especially now at the range after we've gotten past the 2,000 round mark, is magazines sticking. They are getting all sorts of stuck up in the gun. Now, I don't know that I could show you this in the footage here that you're watching on the tabletop, because I'm sure it'll work fine, and it's going to fly right out as it should. No problem. But at the range, I'm experiencing something a little odd. The magazine release button just really starts losing movement, and it does not want to move at all. I make sure that the bolt is fully to the rear and locked in place as it is and as it should be. It is not sitting on the magazine or anything weird like that, and I cannot, for the life of me, pull that freaking magazine out of the gun. The magazine release gets jammed up, which what I would imagine is just carbon and debris and fouling getting all stuck up in the spring in there. That's the only thing I can think of. But man, when this gets stuck, you are not working with much to grab onto. When they are stuck up in here, you can see it's pretty flush. I mean, you really have nothing to hold on to get these magazines out of the gun. So what I end up having to do, this is a nice thing about the Mark IV, is I take the upper completely off and just simply push that magazine down through the top, and it flies out the bottom. That is obviously not ideal, and I'm not seeing anything that looks broken down in there as far as the magazine release. All that is looking just fine, and it is now moving when I'm not shooting it. It just so happens that as I shoot it and a lot of carbon builds up in there, that I have some issues. So I'm not exactly sure why that is happening. If you guys have experienced that with your Mark IV, let me know down in the comment section. Maybe I can do the fix that you did. All under 1,000 rounds. I've never experienced the magazine sticking like that until I got over that high round count. So I am unfortunately going to pin this on my good friend and gunsmith who consistently helps me out. You guys know him as the masked bearded fellow that will occasionally pop up in B-roll. I am going to ask him if he would fully field strip the lower of this gun and ultrasonic clean it and just try to get in all the area, clean out all the little giblets up in there underneath the mag release, and hopefully that will make it less sticky. That is my assumption. I will get back to you guys in a future video on if that worked, if it did not, and we'll go from there. Other than the magazine issue, this has been a phenomenal pistol at the range. I truly have zero complaints about the gun. As I'm getting used to shooting the gun, I'm getting a lot faster with the gun. It's kind of interesting. I do have the ability to shoot relatively fast. I'm not a crazy fast shooter, but I can pull the trigger pretty quick. And you would assume that with this trigger being so light and so crazy good that you would be able to shoot it incredibly fast. At least for me, it takes a lot of getting used to. I don't know if it's the reset, I don't know if it's a pull. It's not the fact that the trigger's heavy, it just kind of feels a little strange when you're trying to shoot it fast. So I have slowly been working my way up in speed, in transition speed, and other things. And as I start learning the trigger more, I'm getting faster and faster with the gun, which is always a nice thing to see. It is an accurate plinker, it is very, very fun, and I believe it is a pistol that can be used for a wide variety of options. The only downfall with the Mark IV Tactical is availability in 2022. It is incredibly difficult to find these guns. Even as we get into 2023, we're still experiencing availability problems with the Ruger Mark series. This pistol that I purchased here at the gun shop that I work at, it was the first time that I saw a Ruger Mark IV Tactical in the case for sale in over 2 years. I'm sure you could find one somewhere online, maybe on Gunbroker or something like that, and probably pay an okay price. But I would imagine it is incredibly inflated compared to what these guns are really worth and what they actually go for in the store. So I would highly recommend this gun. I'd highly recommend trying to find one. If you can find one, I promise you will not regret it. Do not hesitate. Just pick one up. That is going to wrap up this full review of the Ruger Mark IV Tactical. If you have any other questions about this pistol or anything else on the channel, please throw them down below in the comment section, and you guys know I absolutely will get back to you. While you're down there, head up to the description, check out those links to support the channel, and as always, stay tuned for more great videos coming soon.